Dear Falana, let me tell you in all honesty, as a man of your age, I will tell you without mincing words, you are a huge disappointment. You are a huge disappointment. At a point where we thought the issue between you and very dark man has ended, it appears you love the attention and you love the razzmatazz that the case brings, and therefore you want to accentuate and perpetuate it. In fact, make I stop this big grammar. You don't know, say you dey fuck up. An old man of your age. Now this small boy, VDM now who you for fee call, say, VDM come, I want to see you. This way they stop it. The boy go tell us, yes sir, I go stop. But you have gradually molded VDM to a point where the respect will be the get for you. You don't lose him. You have lost the respect that this young man is supposed to have molded for you. And it's a pity. It's a pity. In that court today in Lagos State, did you not see the crowd he pulled? VDM has done so much in the 2 years of his popularity on social media than you have for the past how many years that you've been a senior advocate of nonsense. It's a pity. It's a pity. Trust me, I'm so disappointed that you're not reading the signs on the wall. I am tempted to ask, what exactly are you pushing this case for? Bobrisky is out of the country. VDM made a video, and like he said today, all he wanted to prove was the corruption in the country, and you are dragging a case that is more popular than yourself. Let me tell you the truth, Mr. Falana. If anything happens to VDM, you are going to test your popularity, if indeed you have the popularity. Your significance as a senior advocate of nonsense in this country will be tested, and you know that you are actually nothing. So many things are annoying Nigerians. This Bobrisky's case is one of such beacons that Nigerians are trying to angle their anger upon. But for some reason, you have placed your interest above the anger Nigerians have taken in. I think you want to test your popularity above the love Nigerians have for Nigeria. And trust me, you're going to lose. This is about the third or fourth video I'm making to you. And for some reason, your so-called integrity is more than, you value your so-called integrity more than the anger that has enveloped Nigerians. And trust me, you're going to lose. You're going to, they say, fly when they hear word, go follow dead body, enter grave. And that's exactly what you're doing. Trust me, I've weighed all the angles. I've weighed all the scenarios. And in every scenario, you will lose. Even if they jail VDM, you still lose. Because at the end of the day, it's about the narrative. It's about the narrative that you will live. What is the narrative? That a common man who has great love for this country, that identified high-level corruption and decided to bring the corruption out in the open, and for some reason, unfortunately, your name was involved, rather than take into cognizance of the corruption that this young man has exposed, you have somehow made it about yourself and your useless family. It's a pity. It's a pity that if you lose any respect at the end of this charade, you should blame yourself and not VDM. What did VDM do? Somebody in distress approached VDM, and VDM offered to help. And in the course of this assistance, he released an audio tape. Rather than bring the person whose voice was evidently represented on that audio, the Nigerian system, which you now defend, has made it possible to somehow rigmarole Bobrisky out of this country, to dodge the inquiry of the House of Representatives, to dodge the inquiry of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, to dodge the inquiry of the Federal Corrections Service, and to dodge the inquiry of the police. The man in question, the chief actor of this whole imbroglio, is out of the country. So my question is, what is the fuss about? What's your problem? What is the ruckus about? What exactly is your problem? What exactly is your problem? You have, in a short while, showed everything you represented about Nigeria was pure, unadulterated hypocrisy. In a short while, you have shown that you epitomizes the very core of Nigeria's problem. Look at what people are saying about your family. I didn't know about the Falana before. If you thought you had a name, I never saw you as a name. Trust me, every single ounce of disgrace you are bringing to your Falana family is not VDM, it's not Bobrisky. It's you, senior advocate of nonsense. You are the one bringing the shame to your family now. I have thought by this time you would have withdrawn the case, called VDM small boy. What's wrong with you? No, don't call, in this whole thing, don't mention my family's name again. And I know that VDM will not mention your name again. Now with the video that VDM made this morning, whatever respect he has for you, you have lost it. And whatever respect that Nigerians have for you, you have equally lost it. So what exactly is your problem? What's your problem? Are you the godfather in question? Obviously, I have been told who the godfather is. I now know the godfather, and I will give you clues as to who the godfather is. Because me, I no get strength. I'm too old to sleep in jail. I'm too old in sleeping cell. See, my wife done the alarm is make I no call. The godfather is among the top 5 citizens in Nigeria. You know who is number 1. You know who is number 2. You know who is number 3. Emphasize on number 3. You know who is number 4. You know who is number 4. But emphasize more on number 3. That is the godfather. Allegedly. So all these things we are doing, all this idea of trying to smuggle Bobrisky out, is to cover, is to make sure that that name of the godfather does not leak. So since Bobrisky is out, why is the case still on? Because Nigeria will not take it if anything happens to VDM without the presence of Bobrisky. Nigeria will not take it. Yes, we know that Nigeria is corrupt, but the rights of the ordinary man must be protected, because at the end of the day, we elected the people there. We are, they say democracy is a system of government by the people, for the people, of the people. The people, the people, the people. Let me say this loud and clear. Let me say this loud and clear. I don't know what your intentions are, Mr. Falana. I really don't know what your intentions are. But trust me, if this goes beyond this charade of mere court appearances, I tell you with all sincerity, my name is Magnus Nigerian. Even though I said I don't have the strength to sleep in cell, but I don't know Eric or Sarah, or I don't know, I just say number 3. Nobody name be number 3 for this control, but number 3. So everything you see you are doing is just to make sure that they cover that this thing is even bigger than the Falana. Falana knows who the godfather is. And I think that very dark man know who the godfather is. Everything you see that is going on is to make sure that, because if the name of that godfather appears, the integrity of this administration is gone. If the name of that godfather appears, the integrity of this administration is gone. That's why they are doing everything possible to ensure that this case is swept under the rug. Now that the chief culprit, Bobrisky, is out of the country, my question is simple. Why are you still dragging this case? Why? What is that thing about the Falana that you think? The integrity of the Falana for me only exists in the figment of Fal's and his father's imagination. I do not hold the integrity of Falana's image more than the integrity I have for Nigeria. Nigeria is crumbling, and the few of us who are available are struggling very hard to right the wrongs that the useless politicians, that include Falana himself, of course, to see if we can still salvage anything remotely useful from Nigeria that we can use to live as a legacy to our children. Try English good one. I mean, they speak fine English like this. So, this whole idea, you Falana, you conceived first by the interaction of your prick and your wife's vagina. The question now is this issue of Gabrielism. I have thought that a man who enjoyed the law of intercourse that produced a son, you should, in reverse or conversely, protect that same environment where prick meets Toto and produce children. I am very, very disappointed. Trust me, whether you win this case or lose the case, you have lost your integrity. You have lost your integrity. You have lost your integrity. You don't lose them. All this thing is like you're just struggling in submission. You're just struggling. And what I think is wrong with you, Mr. Falana, is that you are not in tangent. You are not in is that tangent? Yeah. You are not in tangent with the reality of today's technological world. The internet does not forget. The internet does not forget. The more you are wriggling, the more you are struggling, the more you are dragging attention to yourself. And the popular verdict, I'm sure you must be weaved into the delusion of the legal jargons or the legal world of deceit. And you are thinking that, well, provided you have the legal perspective, which I'm sure you will skew or manipulate, but the judgment of the people have found what you are doing to be wrong. So whatever you are trying to do right now, you cannot sway the judgment of the people, except for some few Yoruba bigots that will come and say things in your favor. Bottom line is, you are a disappointment. A huge disgrace to the very ethic of the legal profession in Nigeria. A huge disgrace and disappointment and betrayal to the high virtue we had thought we held you upon, thinking erroneously that you have been fighting for the common man in Nigeria. Now that you have been the subject, you have clearly shown and have proven to us that you are a traitor all along. I am very, very, very disappointed. I cannot be hypocritical about my submission to this scenario. And if you know what's good for you, this case is simple. I don't know what integrity you are covering. If you read what is happening in the social media space, you should know that you have already lost this battle. Yes, I know you can manipulate the judge to give a ruling in your favor. But that will not change the popular opinion about this case. We are not children. Nigerians are not children. We have watched it. Clearly, this is a case of a father trying desperately to cover the shame a son has brought to the family. I have a son too. He may not be as old as your son, but every day I tell him, please do not involve yourself in things that will bring shame to the family. And he tells, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. This is what you should tell your son. Now, there are no proof that your son is Gabriel. There are no proof that you are the godfather. Why don't you leave it at a point where Nigerians begin to think maybe. At least you have a small space to save yourself. But struggling and perpetuating this case, you are only accentuating the suspicion of Nigerians to the point that they will believe that, yes, somehow you are involved in this Gabrielism. We just saw a videotape of one Solomon of our time from Guinea, Equatorial Guinea. Could this be what you guys and the top echelon of our society do when you create sex as a spiritual exercise or fetish exercise where it no longer means anything? While you are there engaging in all these sexual atrocities, we are here suffering. The common man cannot see food to eat. The common man cannot even be sure what tomorrow will bring to him. We are struggling to survive at the tip of our teeth, and yet we see people spending money unnecessarily on cases that is neither here nor there. The money you are using to file a case, the money that they will judge, why don't you use, there's somebody somewhere in your community that needs that money. So I am totally disappointed. I am totally feeling bad that a whole Falana with the knowledge of the ambience of law cannot put his so-called family integrity below the integrity of Nigeria. But I promise you this. I promise you this. And trust me when I say I promise you this. No matter how you drag this case, the outcome is not going to be in your favor. That so-called family integrity that you are claiming to defend or to protect, you are rubbishing it. Should you come across this video, check the comments on this post. 99% of the comments of the post agree with what I'm telling you. So what exactly are you saying? As a father, VDM is your son. He may have erred. He may have done something wrong. Call him, he will come to you. Pull his ear. Tell him to kneel down in your front, he will kneel down. In our culture. But all this case you are doing with him. For VDM has achieved more than you in 2 years. Right now, I can confidently tell you that you do not even measure to half of what VDM represents in the minds of millions of Nigerians. I repeat that again. Right now, Falana, you do not represent half of the achievement that VDM has achieved in 2 years of his popularity. VDM has touched lives of people in the north, in the north central, in the south, in the east, everywhere. And you are here talking about the Falana. Who knows Falana? Who is Falana? Who knows Falana?